The tropical sun began to cast its golden glow over the pristine shores of the island. Mr. Rourke, ever the poised and gracious host, adjusted his white suit as he turned to his faithful assistant. "Good morning, Lawrence." Smiles, everyone, smiles. "Oh dear." Lawrence, always a bit skeptical of the more adventurous fantasies, looked at his employer with a raised eyebrow. "We are not to endure a weekend return to the mythical Old West, are we, sir?" Rourke chuckled softly, shaking his head. "No, Lawrence, no. Mr. Billy Joe Prine of Baywood, Louisiana, is anything but mythical. He is a genuine country western singing star with 4 recordings in the top 10 of the world." Lawrence, whose tastes leaned toward the classical, added a dry remark. "Not including Beethoven, Sibelius, and Stravinsky, I am sure. But be that as it may, what is his fantasy?" Mr. Rourke's expression turned thoughtful as he explained the heart of the matter. Mr. Prine left his home 10 years ago, determined not to return until he had achieved the success he now has. "However, it is your howevers that always intrigue me, sir," Lawrence interrupted. Mr. Rourke continued, noting that despite his fame, the singer could find no trace of his family or the girl he left behind. "His fantasy is for me to find them all and bring them here for a surprise reunion." As they moved toward the arrival dock, Lawrence noticed the next set of guests. "Oh, I think I know that lady, sir." Rourke nodded. "Well, I am not surprised, Lawrence, considering the amount of publicity she generates wherever she goes. That is Miss Brianne Spencer." "Of course, the famous fashion designer," Lawrence remarked. "Yes. And the gentleman. That is Mr. Spencer." Rourke quickly corrected him. "Careful, Lawrence, careful. That is her husband. But he is rather sensitive about being referred to as Mr. Spencer. He is Mr. Fred Nelson, master of ceremonies for the fashion shows. They are here for a dual fantasy. Her fantasy is for her husband to be as successful in the entertainment business as she is in the world of fashion." "And his fantasy?" Lawrence asked. "Merely to recapture the love they shared when they were first married. Obviously a relationship in deep trouble. I am afraid it is, Lawrence. I am afraid it is." The plane landed, and the guests stepped out into the paradise that promised to fulfill their deepest desires. Mr. Rourke stepped forward to greet them with his signature warmth. "My dear guests, I am Mr. Rourke, your host. Welcome to Fantasy Island." Billy Joe Prine was the first to speak with Rourke in private. "I had given up hope, Mr. Rourke. You see, Dad sold the farm and nobody knew where he and my kid brother, Junior, had gone." Rourke's voice was gentle as he delivered a piece of news that hit Billy Joe hard. "You did not know your mother had died, Mr. Prine?" The singer looked down, a wave of regret washing over him. "Well, I was not one for standing touch. And I am ashamed to say, I did not know until I saw her grave, Lord rest her soul." Rourke inquired if he had phoned home over the years. Billy Joe sighed. "Well, look, Dad wanted me to stay on the farm. And of course, after the dressing down he gave me when I told him I was leaving, well, it got to be a matter of pride, you understand. So now, in a sense, you are going home on your own terms. In triumph, is that it?" Rourke asked. "Maybe a little bit of that," Billy Joe admitted. "But it is a lot more, too. You see, they are family. And I love them. And I really have missed Dad, Junior. And Miss Katie McCallum. She was something special. Said she would love me always. And I was gonna send for her, but the months and then years went by and the success you wanted still eluded you. So, as you said, it got to be a matter of pride, huh? Yeah, that is about it. Doesn't make me a hero, though, does it? Katie is here, isn't she? You did find her." Rourke confirmed the reunion. "Oh, yes, Mr. Prine. I found all 3 of them and they are here on Fantasy Island. However, as you instructed, they know nothing about your involvement in this. They all believe they are here as winners of some random selection vacation contest." Rourke added a final word of caution. "However, you must remember, Mr. Prine, that 10 years is a long time. Life does go on, you know." Billy Joe remained optimistic. "I am counting on that. Nobody can stay mad that long. Not even me." Meanwhile, at the fashion pavilion, the atmosphere was thick with ambition and unspoken resentment. Brianne Spencer was focused on the future. Lots of glitter and flair. That is what the ladies will be wearing next. Charming. I predict an even more dazzling future for Spencer Fashions. Her husband, Fred Nelson, chimed in with a hint of bitterness. Oh, yes, Spencer. That is my wife's maiden name, you know. My name's Nelson. They sat down with Mr. Rourke to discuss their journey. Well, you have both come a long way in a relatively short time, haven't you? From two starry-eyed newlyweds to owners of one of the most successful fashion houses in the world. Brianne thanked him, but Fred told a story that stripped away the glamour. Actually, we were starving on the money I brought in working Fleabag clubs. And then the owner of a boutique asked Brianne where she got the dress she was wearing. I made it with my own two little hands, she said. Brianne frowned. That is not very funny, Fred. Fred continued, describing how a man took pity on them and ordered a dozen dresses. And that, dear friends, is how I eventually became known as Mr. Spencer. Fred left for rehearsal, leaving Brianne to vent her frustrations to Rourke. You see, Mr. Rourke. You see, he resents my anger at him for not building something for himself. And the reason that I started this business was to earn enough money so that Fred would be free to build a career in show business. Rourke reminded her that Fred had tried in the beginning. Brianne agreed, but noted that once the big money came rolling in, he gave it all up to MC her shows exclusively. You are hurt because you believe your husband has been living off your success. Is that it? I want him to be his own man, she declared. Rourke looked her in the eye. If that is truly what you want, then you will have to fight for it. Just as hard as you fought to build your business. Perhaps harder. But it is worth it, Mrs. Nelson. In another part of the island, Billy Joe finally confronted his father. What are you doing here? The old man asked coldly. I came to visit, Dad. You gonna ask me in? How about this place? You like it? The father was not impressed. You haven't answered my question. I came to see you, Junior, and Katie. All this is your doing. You paying for it. Billy Joe tried to explain. It was the only way, Dad. I have been trying to find you for over a year and you did not leave much of a trail. I did not mean to, the father replied. What do you want from us, Billy Joe? I don't want anything, Dad, except to be with you a couple of days. Make us family again. And I have got money now. You want your farm back? I will buy it for you. The father's anger flared. And your mother? Gonna buy her back from the grave? Billy Joe's voice cracked. Well, I was wrong to stay away, Dad. And I am sorry. The old man wouldn't let him off easily. You always were your mother's favorite, Billy Joe. Me and Junior, we took a back seat in her heart. She never got over you leaving. You never even come back to see her. Billy Joe tried to justify his absence. I scratched in the dirt for over 8 years, Dad. I could not let any of you see me that way. And I sent money when I could. Yeah, you sent money. Maybe one day I will tell you all about that. Billy Joe nodded. All right. Maybe asking forgiveness might be a little bit too much. But I will take whatever I can get. We will make a try at it. The father softened slightly. Well, that is good enough for me, Dad. We will go find Katie and Junior. They are out here somewhere. Hey, Dad. It is good to see you again. The scene shifted back to the fashion show rehearsal, where Fred was struggling to find the right balance. All right. That is it. Nice and easy. Here we go. Come on. Whoa. Slow it down. Easy on the tempo. This isn't the Indy 500. But Brianne intervened, wanting more excitement. No, no, no. Hold it, everybody. Flash is what we want. Look, dazzling the buyer is much more important than slowing this thing down so they can see every stitch. Tempo, tempo. Fred introduced the models with practiced charisma, but the tension between him and the staff was palpable. Zip. A model asked. Fred turned to Lawrence, who happened to be nearby. Beg your pardon? Zip me. Rourke watched from a distance as Lawrence helped. With some trepidation. I don't know what it is, sir. I seem to attract women in distress. Yes, Lawrence. When you have got it, you have got it. The argument over the show's tempo continued. Do we want it so up-tempo, Fred? A staff member asked. I was moving them slower until Mr. Spencer here gave me a day at the races. Fred snapped, that Mr. Spencer gag is wearing a little thin with me, Dave. I figure one more time ought to do it. Brienne tried to smooth things over, reminding everyone of the cocktail party, but Fred was reaching his limit. Darling, I thought this afternoon was just gonna be for you and me. Brienne pleaded for more time. Oh, darling, it will only be a half an hour. I promise, half an hour. Hour at the most. Billy Joe, meanwhile, was walking with his father and came across the models. There a woman in your life, Billy Joe? None that look like these, Dad. They ran into Junior near the water. Hey, Paul. Hey, you better get your swimming trunks on. They don't allow no long jawed swimming here at this place. Junior's face darkened when he saw his brother. Billy Joe. What the hell are you doing here? The father explained it was a family reunion, but Junior was hostile. And we don't need anything you're selling, Billy Joe. So why don't you just leave us the hell alone? Billy Joe stood his ground. I ran off once, all right? But I am not running anymore. Not from you, not from anybody. Now, you boys get your backs down and put a stopper on your pride. Or when you're both acting, it will become your mother's memory. Then, a voice called out. Billy Joe. Billy Joe. It was Katie. Katie, you have done nothing but get prettier and prettier, Billy Joe said, breathless. Katie smiled sadly. You haven't grown any warts yourself. Billy Joe admitted his fears. I was afraid by now you would be married and have 6 kids. Junior cut in. She doesn't have any kids, Billy Joe. She took the ring off to go swimming. But she is married, sure.